Hello there. Welcome to sort of a special, brief little match here against Kazumaru yet again. Um, we ended up completely tied during the regular season of the league, so we're now battling for the chance to take second place to Cider in the league championship. So whoever we both ended at 16 and Cider has 19. So whoever wins this will have to win 4.5, 1 point. I don't know if Kazu tied Cider actually. Anyway, at least 4.5 to make up the difference. And we're playing a pretty short tiebreaker here. It's just first to 1.5. I need to review the rules a little bit in case we get to the tied point. But I think it's played such that I don't know actually. The third game, I think it's if we go to a third game and second player wins it, or not wins it, ties it, then they win the match. I think it's like is often done in the single elimination portions of our brackets. But I probably should have. I remember looking this up when I found out I had to play this, but I didn't look it up recently. Someone will be able to tell us or something, maybe. All right, so Kazu opens with a mill. I should look at the board. Yeah, that's interesting. I think mill is reasonable. I think you could do some other stuff as well. I guess your question is whether you need trashing, because the board is pretty quick even without it once you get the wharfs going. So certainly there's a chance. I think I still like getting a research. So I'm going to. I mean, we're not going to have much time to do like vineyards. It's just going to be some kind of pile out, but we'll see. I think you want a silver in any case, so I can think a little bit more here and decide if I want to follow or take something else. I don't think you open with the inventor, although that's not totally crazy either. Because you may be able to like gain village by wharf on an inventor play turn, or just gain 2 villages and still hope your silver gets you to 5 separately. That's not at all crazy. The mill, I mean, Kazu's line here is basically just get wharf, which is a quite good approach. I'm just kind of trying to figure if there's something we can angle for that maybe is a little better. I haven't played Dominion in like I've been out of town. I just drove home, so hopefully my internet didn't drop there. Got the warning, possibly lost connection with the game server message. So Kazu gets now. Yeah, we'll take a second silver. Kazu misses 5, so that's nice for me. Of course, drawing my research with this date on the whatever hand was huge for me. So, there may be a little bit of something to be said for taking a honey lodge, but this could end a little sad potentially. Okay, so it doesn't end sadly. I think I'll go ahead and get another wharf. There's some chance of getting a super, super nice draw here. This is already nice, but we do need to get into the villages. Probably Kazu double villages here. I think I would. As them. I'm probably gonna have to buy a village on my turn and not buy an inventor yet. There was some world where we get both of those things. But like this is really nice. This order here isn't super great for us. We just hold it here. I really love the chariot race, but yeah, this draw, that not finding the other wharf, that hurts a little bit. Yeah, there's a world where we like really move here, but this is okay. Okay. You might as well just play them all. Get the buys next turn. Kazi gets a big one here. They'll probably score some. This is going to be interesting. If they hadn't pulled a turnout here, which I guess they were. No, they were totally raw, right? They didn't have any of the they lower the wharves. That seems terrible. Right? Doesn't that seem terrible? Guess if I don't draw around to it, it's okay for him. What is my ability to... I guess I can play the chariot race first. It's not a huge deal. What is my ability to draw around gonna look like here? 8 gains. I have 6 gains now, but I can chain but I would have to also be able to buy a province. So I would have to chain. I would have to chain and chain again. Is that right? Like if I gain Inventor Wharf, I would have to be able to play the inventor I gained. I guess I would probably need that anyway just to have enough money. I guess I only need duchy. So that's something. How much money is that? I get my question is, do I need to like be thinking about lowering the mining or popping the mining villages? Because there's how many? That's 4 coppers. If we draw the inventor at some stage, we can maybe. I mean, also, I guess there's a question of just how many provinces can we get while blowing up some of the mining villages. I'm gonna have more. Well, I can research the or the silver at some point if we find the inventor and remove some of this stuff from the deck. But it sort of requires finding the inventor. Do we just go for that, or is this really stupid? If we don't find the inventor, then it becomes pretty bad. It may be pretty bad regardless. I have a lot of mining villages though, so we can afford to toss a couple. There's also researching a mining village to pull more stuff out of the deck. What's down in here? There's 2 coppers, 2 estates. 2 coppers, 2 estates, and an inventor. And like 2 mining villages? I have a lot of mining villages. We're probably enough money. I should count and see if this just ever. I don't know that we're ever reaching a point where it's guaranteed. So it can get to a point where it's pretty likely, I think. This was also the point where we probably should have done the hunting lodge. If we were going to, or set it aside if we were going to. We still haven't found the inventor. It's rough. Let me think now. There's copper, estate, and how many actions do I have? Is like a vineyard worth picking up? Probably not. This is not clear. Okay, yes, that didn't work out. But oh, I had 3 inventors. Oh, well, that changes. Oh, changes. There may have been a guaranteed path then. I don't know if it was guaranteed, but there may have been a pretty likely path. Obviously, if we find the inventors earlier, we can make something pretty nice happen for us. But we should probably gain like a mill and like a honey lodge. I'm a little scared here, but I don't know. This isn't great. Yeah, I didn't necessarily play this really nice because like triple province would have been pretty good, I think. This obviously can just, I can just dud out of this pretty easily. There's probably a point where I should have researched the honey lodge. I don't know that Kazu has necessarily a win here, but I'm also not going to have a good turn next turn, so. I lower wharves. Right now, Kazu has one inventor. Five wharves, right? So 6, 7. So it's a question of can Kazu gain in play, which he did. He's going to draw 6. So I only had, yeah. What does he have? 4 points? Oh, I missed I miscounted the estate because I forgot the VP point. I mean, I don't think lowering chariot races is hurting me, but it may not be helping me. The question is, can we gain something that's useful? Like a research or something might be useful in the next turn. Well, this is a nice, pretty nice opening hand. Kazu then has 4 more draw. I don't know how many cantrips Kazu has. Not that many. I also don't, I mean, I guess he has enough fillage. I maybe could have lowered. I didn't count out the action stuff. I don't know if he had enough actions to like chain sufficiently to get stuff out. I should have. I'm certain I could have pushed better than research Dashi. I'm pretty sure I could have lowered either the mills or the, I don't know. I think I played a little too paranoid on the points, but just because he's not going to be able to get enough inventors in play to like have nice cost reduction, really. I don't think so. Because I still had, I think, 3 mining villages in play. So I think he only has 3 mining villages and no honey lodges. So he doesn't have the actions. Yeah, I misplayed that. Hopefully it doesn't cost me. I should still be in a pretty good spot, but I definitely misplayed it. So now the question is, because he doesn't have as much gain threat as I was playing around. I could have lowered the wharves. Or the inventors or something. Mills. Maybe Mills would have been like the most conservative one, right? Just lower the mills a little bit. It doesn't necessarily expose me to a pile out win or anything, and then it's a little easier to take them and pile out on my turn probably. I don't know. Or they're nice with my honey lodges, I guess, is one thing. It's like he has a research, but he doesn't. He has a mill and a chariot race still. Okay, so he can gain and play a little bit, but not a lot. He still has a village problem. So the question is whether I messed up here and gave Kazu too much time to do other stuff. That's the question. Because he didn't actually have 3 pile threat. The vineyards aren't too scary yet. I mean, they can get there, but I guess it's a little hard for them to get there without letting me 3 pile on something. Or risking that anyway. So I don't know if there's going to be a window where they're like easier to score with than provinces. I overestimated what Kazu could do on this turn. The thing that I was missing was the village count. And that was not anywhere near enough to do the scary stuff. Oh. Too bad I don't have a cherry race in hand. That would be nice. You can probably take like 1 cherry race, but as long as I can survive to the next turn, I think I'll be okay. I mean, this is not really too scary right now, what Kazu has done. Still has a bit of a village problem. It's like he can fix the village problem, or he can get more gains, but he can't really do both. And it's still not reaching a point of drawing deck really, or not truly being able to do a lot of gain and play, because you're adding potion and vineyard and whatever. So obviously a bit better than me for drawing, but as long as I can maybe extend the score a little. I mean, I'm hoping to research like the duchy or something. I think those look like pretty good buys to me for Kazu. I may also just have a, like a nightmare kind of scenario here. This is pretty good. So we can either go down and try and honey lodge out, or we can discard these regardless. The only question is whether we want to do. Because it did not up the gains, they do have a little more potential to do gain and play, but they still are only starting off with 1 inventor in that direction, so that's not huge. I have 7 gains. I can do any gain and play I do make can probably finish. But I also don't have to push that necessarily. Because it's not like Kazu can score a whole lot. Hopefully. Maybe I'm wrong. This is awkward. So the question is, do you do the inventor now and toss with the honey launch? Or do you take the guaranteed? I mean, I guess you can still play it in that order anyway and see what you draw. There's some pretty bad honey lodge or some pretty sad honey lodge draws, I guess. What should I take? Can I take a mill and it be okay? Not clear. That was pretty bad. That was not ideal. We want to draw like junk there. Okay, so pretty unsure of the safety of any of this. This may be losing some way. We just hope. I'm afraid like the Mill Wharf Vineyard pile out will be an option that works. That's quite a bit of money though, isn't it? I do get lucky. I did get lucky both. I bought 2 provinces and top decked them twice. So that's pretty fortunate. They're not blowing up mining villages. That's all the wars. I don't know what they have left. I think 1 mining village at least. They bought. They may have a chariot race. I may have all the chariot races actually. I don't know. There may be a win here. It can up the vineyards to. They can get to 18, I think. I don't think they get to 21, but I think they get 6-point vineyards. They could only have 2 of those, really, though. Does province work? Double province. Not double province, but province. They only have 6 buys. So, like, they can get a mill and they could empty wharves and mills and buy a vineyard, but they don't have enough buys. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think that by itself is enough points. It's like 12 points or something. And they're not to like a duchy emptying kind of territory either on the gains. I don't think. Unless they can draw and play this wharf. If they can gain wharf and play wharf, then duchies work. Well, they wouldn't have $21, would they? No. I don't know. Maybe they get to. Well, now they're freeing up buys, right? By doing the inventors. But they get fewer points off the mills. Yeah, that doesn't work. And I guess they just did the resignation to have it because they thought it wasn't really guaranteed for me. I could have had a. Well, there were limits to how crappy my hand could have been. I had 2 wharfs coming down. But you could certainly have played. I mean, you could wait and see if I can finish without going the full lowering. You could score more points than what Kazu scored there. Maybe make it hard for me to pile out and catch. I don't know how much they could have overtaken me, or if they could have easily overtaken me. They could have got another potion. Which wouldn't have been like incredible, but. Okay, so this is, gains are a little awkward here. Actually, gains are incredibly awkward here. At least unless someone empties a pile, which there doesn't really necessarily have to be a pile emptied. Hitting 8 is kind of hard. This is very weird. Gains are not here. Like at all. You can also pathfind vault and then you just have to find silver, which is not crazy. Though if you're getting catapult hit, then that's not so good. Though the build, I mean, you can build up a thing that does that. It's just not gonna be. Maybe you can do a turn where you like do a rats out without trashing. You know, you just trash whatever, you play your actions out and then do the rats out to activate cities if you're not doing the engine. Though if your opponent has that stuff too, then it doesn't do so much for you. I don't know. It's very weird. It's a very, very weird board. mean, you can do the catapult attack permanently with cursing too, but there are ways to like deal with it. Ball is, I mean, you probably ball and just change your 5-2 to a 3-4. I don't think you take vault, though maybe you take vault. It would have to be vault if you're going to do that direction. So then the other person would have to play to try and get the engine going. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have opened like rats catapults or something. I do think you kind of have to play for the long thing here, even though it's not super good. Well, this is pretty bad. Okay. Well, we'll see. I was feeling good after that first game. Then we go into a sombrero. I mean, it's not the sombrero here is not completely devastating or anything like that. I kind of want rats. Well, okay. All right. I guess this is where we are. I don't know. There's nothing. I don't really have a good way of competing against that. There's still like limited stuff to do. But I'll probably take a city quarter this turn. I guess the good thing is that they don't have like a really exciting pathfinding to do at this point. So they can do like pathfound cities, and this is still pretty good. I guess I'm a little bit worried about taking city quarter here. That might be a little premature. Yeah, they had perfect shuffles. Like they actually had perfect shovels. I mean, I guess they didn't trash out as many estates initially as you would maybe have liked to, but they got the buys they needed, and then it went through. So I go with City Core, which is interesting because they can't really hit 8 that same way again. Doesn't work. But this is quite a nice draw for me. So maybe we'll be back in it. You have to buy like Explorer Vault here. Yeah. So right now we're guaranteed to hit an estate and a copper anyway. So it doesn't help to put this copper on top. There's like a rat in here, but look at all that money. Oh, it was not rats. It was... I hadn't played my rats yet. Okay. So... yeah, I don't know when you have time to buy anything. And cursing, like doing one at a time cursing is not going to do anything. Probably not anyway. I guess there's a chance, but it's not that likely. They're going for the catapult. That's interesting. I think that favors me. I think I'm actually in a better position long term because I can ball for like Pearl Diver catapult. I guess they can follow in on that stuff, but gains are so strange here. There's a Pearl Diver down here. You can't really move first on or I can't move first on provinces while they have the catapult. if there was a path here where I could offer tie, it would be fine. But it's not gonna work out this way. I also need another. I need a city quarter pretty bad. I don't know that they're gonna have to do one more buy to have economy. At least if they want to do catapult, or if they want to. I mean, they're gonna need another buy to be able to make 8 further, like continually. It could just be a vault. But what they have now doesn't cut it. I mean, not if you're playing the catapult on the treasures you gain, anyway. And if you need explorer, I guess if you not explorer, priest. I guess if you stop playing priest, then it changes a little bit. I don't even know if I have enough from this deck to make it through. Probably not. I only have 7, right? Unless I keep maybe I have a copper still. I mean, I'm not gonna hit 8 consistently off this deck though. Not if I'm getting attacked. Well, if I'm getting attacked, that gives me a little more money, but I still wouldn't hit 8 just because of the draw with just 3 pearl divers. They're not either guaranteed to keep hitting or keep drawing. I kind of feel like, I don't know, as first player, if they move first on the provinces, it's going to be pretty hard for them. If they're consistent, then it's impossible for them. I guess the only thing is that if you are second mover and you do keep, and there's a curse left when you get there, then you can do it. You can trash your curse, give them a curse, and buy prawn. So there is that. Like I said, I think they have to make another economy buy before that works for them. So they didn't even do economy, which is a little weird. We probably need to swap Sentinel. I mean, this swap doesn't mean anything really. It's not obviously the order we would like to have had it happen, but it doesn't matter. Don't know how this is all going to work out. We are gonna have. If we do single curse, then I get the first. I have a little more pile control than Kazu. I mean, they can buy cards and fix that. But this can go bad. This can go potentially quite bad. We didn't find Pearl Diver or the... When they don't catapult us here, okay. Man, where are the... This sucks. I literally bottom decked Pearl Diver. Well, I guess Rats is down there too. So anyway, Pearl Diver, City Quarter. Oh, but I have action. Okay. It's okay. I don't have a copper though, so I don't actually have the money to make this work, do I? We're gonna need them to miss. Yeah. Maybe shouldn't have. Well, that was gonna happen anyway. I don't know. How likely are they to ever miss? Probably not super. We'll need one miss at least. If we do get a miss, then I think it opens up a little bit. Well, if they get I mean, if this hand is like actually dudded, which I don't know how exactly it could be. I guess they have quite a few silvers. Yeah, I guess it could be dudded that way. If this hand's like stop and can't afford province, then I maybe am back in it. I don't know. There may be a ball they can do that is reasonably good, or at least leaves them potential. This is actually pretty much just fine. This may help me actually here. This may let me do a silver trash instead of a... This turn anyway, instead of a... Okay. That's fine. If they want to change it, it's fine. I hadn't done anything. This is good for me regardless. Okay. We're back here. We're guaranteed to find the whatever thing, so. The city quarter. Okay, ball. 2 pearl. I don't love double pearl diver actually. Not that it's crazy, but last card for me is a silver, so the pearl diver won't change the amount of city quarter draw. And maybe we want to save it. I don't know that there's a really a thing that matters for it necessarily, but okay, so how do we order this? We do catapult probably last. I mean, explorer catapult is similar. We can do a priest. This, I'm not sure any of this order really mattered a whole lot. Other than lowering the rats, I suppose. So the question is if they get a draw. I mean, if they get a draw that's good enough to trash out the curses, then we'll kind of be back to square one. But I needed that to happen to even have a shot, so. This does let me swap silver for, I can still trash silver and go to gold, and it still is, and then it's still an exact 8 on something. They don't have the rats, so they can't trash 2 curses a turn either. I don't know if that'll ever really be relevant, but it's true. I mean, they can trash 2 curses with a catapult. They can't trash a curse while giving a curse. Like, they could just clean themselves up here. May actually be rats that we lose here. We don't have that anyway. This again, this is as much as the city quarter will draw here for us. There's also a point where I have to. Yeah, that's also a thing. I mean, as long as I'm getting a curse, it feeds itself, but once that's not happening, it's a little different. Do I want to lower the rats again? I mean, it's probably in my favor, right, to have a little bit. If the rats are lower, then there's some chance that curses and rats go, and it gives me, you know, a buy. I don't think it's going to last long enough for me to actually empty the rats, but it should be good for me. Last card is the rats, right? Uh-oh. I mean, if I have pearl divers on top, then it'll be good. It'll be a good hand, but let's see. This could easy done on me. Phew. This could still done. I guess we could. Does that let us see more cards? It doesn't let us see more cards. I mean, it guarantees getting a curse trash in, but it doesn't actually let us see more cards. So anyway, we found it. I do need to think a little bit. When the curses are gone, then stuff changes somewhat. And there may be a round where I need to, but I think for now it's not a huge deal. I guess if Kazu hits province here, they're fine. No. They'll still have a curse, right? Because they only can trash one a turn. So in the turn I gave them 2, and then they didn't trash. So they'll still be holding a curse. So they can't safely province. They can duchy though, and then the next later on they can safely province because once the curses are gone, then they're at the advantage point from being second player. So I do have a good opening hand. Really good, actually. So if they have province, there's a very good shot that I make it. But let's hope they just go for it. But they don't really have to. They have a little bit. And the other thing is, like, they don't necessarily they only have to get to duchy, so it's a little hard for them to actually miss that. I mean, eventually, but and I can take a turn and I can just go for it. If at some point, I mean, or I can. The thing is, right, is that if they take duchy now, they trash a curse, they take duchy, and then if next turn they can trash the other curse, then they can take province, and it's safe. It's just not safe now. And they also make it a little, I mean, they have to do this anyway, but it becomes a little easier for me, right? Because now my city draws cards. And they have, money. So hitting duchy for them is not super hard. I wouldn't guess that it's that hard. But that's basically what we're playing for now, is somebody missing that. I guess the other thing I can't really play for that because we don't have the gains for it. it's pretty tough, or it's going to be pretty tough for me. The question is whether how many hands, the question is like, how many hands do they have where they miss province. But like, so like here, if I take duchy now, if they draw deck and trash the curse, then they can take the province. So I either need them to, or I don't know what my outs are that work, or that are most likely to work. Like I can wait to see if they just total dud some turn and don't buy a duchy even. Like they drew, I don't know, they would have to have a really bad hand. Like they can't have explore plus gold. They can't have, I mean, any of the little pearl divers are going to get them up to it probably. We don't really have a rats lowering thing that's going to do much for us. Probably. They still have the city, of course. I can attack them here and go for it. I mean, I guess this is all probably guaranteed anyway. I guess there's a chance they don't pair, but they have so much time to do it. Like even if I just straight go for province now, they don't have to. They just have to hit province. They did discard the explorer, which probably just means they have pearl divers. What does an explorer discard mean? I don't know. I think I'm sunk anyway, but I think I can just wait to see if a dud happens and play it from there. Because I'm going to need one anyway, frankly. Now they can just pretty much take as many. I mean, the golds are just money for them because they only just have to hit duchies anyway. So I wouldn't even attack me if I were Kazu here. I would keep the gold. Yeah. But they didn't gain a gold? Did they just leave a explorer on top? I don't have any. No, there's no trickery here. It's just see if they dud, I guess. There's no. I guess I could take this here and be guaranteed a duchy. I don't know how much my. This could just fail to even hit duchy now. I don't know how much my. This should go on top now. Probably. Or bottom. We have. Overlord's in there, but it's like Overlord Province. It's not really good Overlord stuff. Let me think. Can I get there if I don't take a gold now? If we just get the gold on the next turn, it still works, right? I mean, with a perfect draw anyway. you have to hit the... Actually, Overlord at the start is not really great. You have to hit the... Maybe I should have done the Overlord on top just to get out the money. I mean, it works, but you have to hit Priest on rats. And then you have to catapult like a Pearl Diver or something. Yeah, this was actually just not a good play order. I should have gotten the Overlord. I shouldn't have top deck gold. I mean, probably Kazu was making it regardless, but... You get gold. Priest trashes. 1, 2, 3. You can do it, but you have to trash. I messed this up. I'll go ahead and do the attack just because I think is probably needed. But I messed it up anyway. The only way for this to even work on my turn requires like a really, really lucky stack. It's very unlikely to work, period. Even if they miss. So they didn't miss. Should have. I did misplay that a little bit, but... Alright, we're gonna go to the third game. Got some... It ended up close. I mean, I got Sombrero, but then they did have the stops that made it actually competitive, which was nice. So, Sombrero was obviously rough. Okay, so I think on this, I think a tie... I think I win a tie. What do we have here? Okay, swap Magpie. Yeah, that's a thing. That is definitely a thing. Swap Magpie and Emporium. Holy cow. This is gonna run away for somebody. It is going to absolutely run away for somebody. I think I'm gonna Silver Magpie and then do the Ratcatcher on the reshuffle. You could take a Ratcatcher on the start, I think. Want one Highwayman and then swap. Maybe two swap first, I don't know. This is gonna break bad for somebody. One way or the other, somebody's gonna have a deck and somebody's gonna have nothing. And it'll be a funny deck too, because it'll be like I don't know if you can always sequence it the way you want to. That may be a little awkward at times. But you're gonna be able to do some amount of swap Magpie like Emporium Trickery. I'm gonna guess. Because otherwise, actually, the payload is pretty weak. I mean, you can do like... I mean, you can have golds or capitals and stuff, but the payload isn't incredible. And even the Emporium thingy is not like incredible. it just okay. Well, that was pretty good for Kazu, I would say. I mean, that's about as good as what you can get off this reshuffle. I mean, you can get some stat. I mean, there are little better ones, but there are some better ones. I don't even know if you actually do the Highwayman or you just buy the swap and see if you get it that way. But because the attack is not super meaningful. Okay, this magpie is gonna miss, which is bad. You just buy another rat catcher, but you could buy a patrician. This magpie will not generate another magpie, which is sad. This could break really bad. They did trash an estate, so maybe they'll miss. If I get a magpie out of here, I think I'm maybe okay, but since I'm not, I guess I can buy a magpie. I'll have 4, won't I? Never mind. It's okay. I guess a guaranteed hit in the cycling is pretty decent too. To get the 4/5. Yeah, I should actually. This is fine. At least it's like a good, certainly a good shuffle for my opening. I didn't quite think it all through. I wouldn't mind doing magpie rat catcher with 1 less cycle, but I'm not actually sure which one is better overall. That's not clear to me. It's sort of cute. You can have your highwayman in the shuffle and know a magpie will hit. Okay, well this is not good. Let's see if they do swap first or if they go for the highwayman. Or you could even take a big mint, I suppose. It's a little hard to do the big mint before you've bought swap at least. But once you have a swap, you can do it. Wow, this was perfect. They still get 5, so this is pretty nice for Kazu. If they miss 5 here, then they're in trouble, but since they got it, they're okay. Okay. So I think we play the magpies. There's some shot of getting the like drawing the highwayman and stuff. How many of these do we kill? How do we buy? It'll have to be patricians. Man, if we'd gotten this turn while playing the highwayman, that would have been something else. Okay. I'm not even sure I wanted the silver, but might buy an acting troop. I don't know. Like I said, the payload is still a little bit weird. If you can be the person though that just has all the emporiums, well, 1, the game will probably be over. But 2, you get to have the control over You could have the control over them if you have the bulk of them. But this is a strange board. They still don't have a swap. Can they even buy a swap? What did they do to themselves here? They won't be able to buy a swap next turn regardless. There's literally no way. You buy silver, or if you buy acting troops so you can play the mint and gain a silver, you still don't hit 5 if, and I am going to play my highwayman. So Kazu doesn't buy swap until at least 2 turns from now. And I could probably empty them by then. Maybe. I can try. That's probably not quite true, but depends on how this shuffle goes. But he like has to, and if you do the acting troop, you're not even really guaranteed to get this sequence. I guess you're pretty likely to with the highwayman in play. This is actually not any good for me. I don't know. Is it worth it to get a rat catcher at this point, or do we just kind of play it out this way? If we had gotten a lot of swaps this turn, we could have gone somewhere, but we did not. I actually think it is pretty stinking likely that I empty the swaps before Kazu can buy any. Well, more than one anyway. And one is not doing a lot here. We'll have to see. I'm gonna mess up the play order here, which is it won't even be hard, I don't think, particularly. But I'm gonna mess it up. Are these 3 cards magpies? I guess one's an estate. Is it 2 magpies in a state? I don't know about Herbalist. I don't know if it does anything for them, but when there's 1 card left, we want to be able to. We want to have 2 magpies left in hand when there's 1 card left. Right? Okay, so we've got Magpie Patrician, Silver Estate, Magpie Patrician, Silver Estate, Mint. Okay, You need to have 2 at the end of it, so we may need to hit then we gain these back. Is there a way to get more out of this? Oh, I kind of messed this up, didn't I? I did definitely mess this up. I lost a magpie. Well, we could get it back. I don't know if there was a way that I could do it better, but I kind of messed it up. Because we're just going to draw this now. So they can buy 1 swap. I'll have 9, which is a lot of swaps. And then I just have to watch out that I don't do allow a 3 pile, basically. Plus the province stuff, I guess it can be an angle where they're in a position to do provinces. They're gonna go patrician swap. Okay. Do I want the patrician to hit? Does that help me at all? Or do I just do swaps? I guess you can even have your place some of your magpies in, or you reach a point where you know the magpies are. Does getting hits really help me for draw either kind? I mean, priority number 1 is to get the rest of the swaps. I guess some hit is probably useful. Which is more likely on a patrician, though it's not terribly likely. Anyway, since there's just 2 swaps in there at this point. We also don't have to play every swap to get there. It's just about... we have to play 4 of them, but... Or we have to do 4 plays of them. And they feed themselves, so you don't have to unless you want to get other stuff, it's not a huge deal to... Oh, I should have swapped out, though, before. Yeah. Well, all the magpies are hits now, we know. I may be messing this up somewhat. Are we okay with losing a magpie? I think so. There maybe was a way to get this and have it work out right, but I did not manage it if there was. I might lose this game. I losing that magpie was probably pretty bad. If we can get down into the patricians, then we might have something. Or not down into the patricians, but down into the emporiums. Because we can just flip emporiums back and forth. They not play. Oh, they didn't even play. Oh no. Well, they're toast. Yeah, they've got all these silvers. Yeah. This just won't work. If they're gonna have a... No, this won't work for them. I don't believe. We don't even need many emporiums. We just need one, and we do the swap thing. We just move it back and forth with something. Where are my treasures? Okay. That wasn't so good. I only have 2 swaps left in here. Wish I'd gotten some hits, but okay. This is all we really want to do, right? We can actually even lose the magpies this turn. If we want. If they buy any Emporiums, I'm pretty sure it's just over. They gain any. I think I can do a couple magpies and do one. I can do the Highwayman and I can do Patrician. I mean, I can buy Patrician. I can swap one Patrician into an Emporium, and I guess you can't do that actually. It'll be gone. But what they're doing there is probably correct, but won't matter. I always forget that can't swap Patrician for Emporium. I could potentially swap it for like a magpie at the end though. That could be something that's relevant for a 3 pile. If I empty the Emporiums and I have like a magpie left, I could do a Patrician back to magpie and then buy a Patrician. Yeah, that doesn't do it. I don't think I have the gains here. So I'm not gonna push it, but they're in debt, so I guess there's a world where they we should watch out for some funny business. There is like a world where they get a couple capitals down. Surely it's wrong to top deck the capital, but okay. I mean, you do need to get in hand with your man anyway. Anyway, you can probably start playing Patricians and it's all right. Would like to get a hit, but okay. Well, that didn't happen. It's like we probably don't want this stuff too low because they can get up to 4 buys plus a swap. But they would need it's kind of doable. I can leave. It's kind of doable actually for Kazu. Oh wait, is he in? Oh no, he did Herbalist. He did the Herbalist trick. I was thinking he had debt, but he did the Herbalist thing. Oh, that's why he did that. That makes sense. But they could swap Highwayman Emporium and buy. Would they have enough money? They would have $1 plus the Emporium $2. 3, 4. They would have $16. Okay. I'm going to have to leave an Emporium in the pile at the end of all this. There will have to be the Emporiums. I'll have to have 5 Emporiums down in there. That's my conclusion. I don't think they have $20. Wait, they have more silvers. Oh no. How much? Oh no. I don't think I had a 3 pile. I don't think I had enough. Oh, but they don't have buy. They wouldn't have 4 buys. Oh no. Oh boy. I can return a bunch of magpies and hope they don't get all of the draw for it all to work out. Or this is a big yikes for me. They have the money, don't they? Because they have more silvers. If they can draw it all, which I guess is not guaranteed. Should probably leave all of them in there, shouldn't I? We could throw a patrician on top too. If we have patrician. One, two, three, 4. I have 9 of these. There might have been a way to win. I don't know. This is definitely getting a little bit scary. We can get... I mean, this is just magpie and whatever on the bottom now, right? So it won't work anyway. Should we buy a herbalist? Or should it just be a racket? I guess herbalist is a little more flexible. If they just start like double provincing, is there any world where I can outscore that? Well, they couldn't gain and play that. So that's good. So maybe I didn't. I don't know if there was a world where it was possible. I mean, if the magpies had gotten hits, that's possible. So I now have that one. So herbalist. Herbalist, 2 highwaymen, a buy. And a couple magpies, but then we have to get the magpie hits. But it should work, I believe. It should work. I don't know if it's all that important whether patricians hit or not. I don't think it's super consequential. I don't even know if it helps, to be honest. This should work. The emporiums will give me enough money. I do need them all to be... No, I only need 4 of them to be... How many do you have to have? 5? Oh, well, I have it anyway. Okay, so... All the magpie stuff is now hits. But I won't play yet. I would really like to not mess this up, if possible. We could have even scored a little bit more, but... Alright, we just buy Emporium. I think fancy play there would have been plain silver before copper for the Highwayman, but I clicked too quickly. I played so slow today. I was just really didn't want to lose. All right, so I'm gonna play cider and probably lose, but I have to win the championship. But look out for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.